Hello and welcome to the Bantams online YouTube channel. This is episode 6 in the Bradford City football manager journey. Hit the like button and let me know that you're watching, as I could do with all the likes I can get. And don't forget, you can follow me on X at Bantams Online as well. And if you want to do the same thing and start the job when Graham Alexander did and try and rebuild the team, you can do. There's a link in the description to the add-on that I created that I'm using. So we left off in the last episode having beaten Tranmere Rovers 5-3, but that still wasn't enough to land us in the top 7. So with this being the final month of the season with 5 games remaining, that is the aim. Can we get into that top 7, get a playoff place, and hopefully go up via the playoffs? And looking at the table as it stands now, there's potentially 3 playoff places we can get. We should be able to hopefully get to where Stockport are, or at least Doncaster, one of those slipping up with a bit of luck. If worst comes to worst, at least MK Dons are level on points with us. So it's just about bettering what those teams do if we're going to reach the playoffs, and hopefully, touch wood, we can. Firstly, just a little bit of news to catch you up on, and that is Brad Halliday has committed his future to Bradford City for another 2 years, and his wage at £2,500 a week is an absolute bargain for the man. Happy days. Brad Halliday has extended his contract with Bradford City. And for those of you wanting to know about the signings in the last episode, these are the deals that the players got. Kyle Bartley on 1.1k per week, and he signed for 1.5 years, so he's with us until June 2025. And to bring Liam Moore back to Valley Parade until the end of the season, that was a good bit of business at only £2,000 a week as well. And just to update you about some injury news, Andy Cook picked up this injury at the start of March. Now this is likely to keep him out for the remainder of the season. Maybe he'll come back in time for the playoffs, I don't know, but that's the reason that he disappeared from the lineup in the last episode, having come back and scored a goal on his return from being dropped for some poor form where he hadn't been scoring. He'd missed a few penalties, so he was just unfortunate that when he made a goal scoring return he picked up an injury. And Jamie Rayner again asked, do you feel that your ambition for the club are matched by the chairperson? And since I'm doing quite well now, I decided to respond very honestly again, more honestly this time. I have my idea for running this club, the chairperson has other ideas, and that's just the way it goes really. And as part of my summer rebuild, part of this is going to focus in a big way on youth players and players with potential value for the future. So this is one, and Leon Trod is one player that I'm planning on taking on in the summertime as somebody hopefully who will develop, maybe go out on loan, but certainly develop as part of Bradford City. It's part of my strategy long term, so keep an eye out for this over the next couple of episodes. Another part of what I'm going to be doing is making the funds available for other players to come in, and part of the plan is to make better use of the wage budget as well. So that's going to mean some players are going to be leaving at the end of their contracts. One of them, Ryan East, I've been trying to get rid of him anyway. He's not really got a long-term future at the club. But another is Jamie Walker. It's a hard decision, but I've decided that it's probably not going to be any use re-signing on a new contract. There is the issue of Harry Chapman, who is somebody that I'm struggling to fit into the team, and I have got players that I'm wanting to bring in, and both Jamie Walker and Harry Chapman are on relatively high-end wages, and I feel I can get people in that are going to be better and have more potential longer term for selling on. So it means players like Jamie Walker and Harry Chapman will most likely move on in the summertime unless anything develops in the meantime that changes my mind. Anyway, on to our first match of the episode, and it's away to Grimsby Town. And first things first, let's get a look at the team that I'm putting out today. Up front is Callum Kavanagh, and Jake Young and Tyler Smith accompanying him in a 3 up front, a very attacking formation. I really want to go for this one. In the middle of the field is Richie Smallwood pairing up with Jack Hinchy. Now, Jack Hinchy, if you've been watching in the last episode, has been doing very well for us, as predictably has has Brad Halliday, and he's in the lineup as well as Denver Hume, who's provided quite a few assists since joining us, with a back three of Bartley, Platt and Kelly, with of course Macy in goal. So that means on the subs bench, Sam Walker, Liam Moore, Alex Gilliard, also Adam Wilson, Imari Samuels and Jamie Walker. Again, I want to get him some minutes to get him up to match fitness, and Bobby Poynton. And just to return to the subject of Adam Wilson, who's on the bench, I'm doing something similar to what it turns out Graham Alexander's actually been doing in real life, and that is trying to give certain players a chance just to get into the team to show their worth before deciding whether you want to move them on or keep hold of them. That's part of the reason Bobby Poynton didn't really get a look in, because I think it's pretty much a no-brainer that he wants to keep him. But you've also got fringe players like Clark Edouard, Wilson, there were Osadebi and other players like that, and some of them you get a look at, find out whether they've got any role in the squad before deciding whether to move them on. And Wilson is very much at that point with me where I'm deciding whether to keep him or move him on, whether he needs to go out on loan or anything like that. Anyway, back to the match. As you might have noticed, Aboiza, the former Bradford City player, is playing today for Grimsby Town, and our left back Denver Hume actually signed in the January transfer window for Grimsby Town in real life. So this is how the two teams line up. We are ready for this match now. This is a situation, Grimsby Town in 14th place, Bradford City just need to win or draw, and some of the teams lose above us. That's it. We are still in touching distance, but we have been for a little while now. So we've got a few games to get through in this episode, so this one will just be the highlights. Bradford City get the game underway. Grimsby attacked after 6 minutes with Conti shooting, and that was turned behind the bar by the goalkeeper. Kavanagh started off this attack, passing it to Jake Young, who found Smallwood, and Smallwood took a shot from outside the box, which was saved by Eastwood. And on quarter of an hour, Grimsby were in again, and another good save from Matt Macy, denying him there. Brad Halliday in the middle of the pitch found Kavanagh, who picked out Jake Young, who as per usual found the back of the net to make it 1-0 to Bradford City. Callum Kavanagh with an assist though, and a great strike by Jake Young. And 12 minutes later, Jake Young came close with this header. Grimsby Town did put on some pressure towards the end of the first half, and this opportunity was denied by Matt Macy just before half time. And again, another shot blocked as Grimsby Town continued to pile on the pressure before half time. Grimsby Town certainly looking like a team that felt a goal was on its way, and it nearly was, but this shot was just put wide. And as you can see, some good performances in there, but players tiring very quickly. And that was it at half time. Bradford City leading 1-0, and Grimsby Town got the game underway for the second half. And in the 52nd minute, Rose equalised for Grimsby Town, only for it to be ruled out for offside. But time for some substitutions. Matty Platt came off and was replaced by Liam Moore, and Denver Hume was replaced by Imari Samuels. But before the substitutes could even get on, this shot from Tyler Smith was well saved. And then Poynton had a free kick, and that was a great finish. Bradford City 2, Grimsby Town 0. And look at that, no messing about from Bobby Poynton. Again, he continues to do the business for Bradford City whenever he gets an opportunity. But as you see there, Matt Macy had another save to make, but by then it was all done and dusted, and Bradford City won 2-0 at Blundell Park. And good performances from Kavanagh, Young, Poynton, Smallwood, Hinchy, Bartley, Samuels. A lot of good performances. Man of the match, Matt Macy. But the big question is, where did this leave us in the league? Are we in the playoffs yet? And the answer is still no. And look at that, 4 teams on 67 points, Stockport on 68. Surely another win will put us into the playoff places. Unbelievable that we're not already in the playoffs, but the teams keep winning, and their season, we're running out of games, only 4 games left to make it count. Don't forget, Crew have a game in hand as well. Anyway, just a bit of other business before we go on to the next match. Building for next season, I'm looking for young players like I mentioned, and this is one of them. An 18-year-old centre-back, Lewis Brown from Arsenal. It's all part of my plan to get players in that are cheap on the wages and have potential sell-on value for later that hopefully I can bring into the first team from time to time or loan out for the time being to get them much needed experience and then sell them on for a profit. It's called a strategy. And Vince Bartram is to replace Colin Doyle as my goalkeeper coach. Doyle will be leaving the club at the end of the season. But to our next match, which is at home against Gillingham, Brad Halliday picked up a knock in the last match, so Imari Samuels comes in for him at right back. Halliday not fully fit for this match, so I left him out as a precaution. So this is how the lineup looked. Matt Macy in goal with Tompkinson, Platt and Moore in defence, and Imari Samuels and Denver Hume the wing backs. Jack Hinchy and Richard Smallwood once again in midfield with Tyler Smith, Jake Young and Callum Kavanagh up front, with Sam Walker, Kyle Bartley, Lewis Richards, Kevin McDonald, Alex Gilliard, Jamie Walker and Bobby Poynton on the bench, and today's referee is Ben Toner. Anyway, the first half finished goalless, and the first bit of action in the second half was this, with Kavanagh finding himself in the box, picking out Tyler Smith, who got his 20th goal of the season to put Bradford City 1-0 up. And Bradford City very attack-minded. Not long later, Callum Kavanagh picked out Samuels, who found Jake Young, and he wasted no time getting a second goal and his 19th goal of the season. An excellent move from Bradford City there. Tyler Smith turned provider, this time for Callum Kavanagh, to get his first goal for Bradford City, making the score 3-0 to Bradford City. And that's how the game ended, 3-0 to Bradford City. Callum Kavanagh got the Man of the Match award in this one. You can safely say that is a very, very good team performance with greens all over the board. And as you can see, I used my full 5 substitutions for this match. So, what did this mean for the league table? We had sneaked to playoff spot. 3 games remaining. We are now in the top 7 in the playoff places. We've got 1 point buffer on Stockport County. But in 6th place, Crew have a game in hand on us. But the important thing is we are in that playoff spot. Next up was a visit to the Peninsula Stadium, and this is how the team looked for that. Brad Halliday returning to his normal position after overcoming the niggle that kept him out of the last match. Tyler Smith started up front again, along with Jake Young and Bobby Poynton. Bobby Poynton's corner then was headed home by Denver Hume for his second goal of the season. And after 32 minutes, Brad Halliday put in a cross that saw Denver Hume strike and nearly claim his second if it wasn't for a combination of the goalkeeper and the bar. And then Bobby Poynton had a shot well saved by the goalkeeper. And over the last 10 minutes, Bradford City was really dominating possession and having the better of the chances. And some good link-up play between Halliday and Hinchy saw this header by Jake Young saved on the line. And just before half-time, Bradford City had another good opportunity with this chance from Jack Hinchy being blazed over the bar. And it remained Salford 0, Bradford City 1 at half-time. Salford was straight on the attack after half-time, and substitute Matt Smith grabbed an equaliser in the 47th minute. And 10 minutes later, Luke Freeman put the hosts 2-1 up with that excellent strike from the edge of the area. But the one thing Bradford City have shown recently is a real backbone, and Jake Young cut the ball to Tyler Smith, who equalised, getting his 21st goal of the season less than a minute later. But Salford had another chance through Matt Smith, his shot from outside the box saved by Matt Macy. I decided to make some changes because I hadn't up till yet, so I replaced Gilliard for Smallwood and also brought off Halliday and replaced him with Imari Samuels. And I thought about taking off Bobby Poynton, but I decided not to, and I took off Tyler Smith instead and brought on Adam Wilson. But Salford were chasing a playoff place. This was their last hope, with needing all 3 points if they wanted to extend their season. Watt had this chance, but it went over the bar, and that was in injury time, and the game ended in disappointment for Salford and Bradford City with a 2-2 draw. Denver Hume got the man of the match for that game, with Tyler Smith and Jake Young also doing well, and Jack Hinchy once again in the centre of midfield doing a great job on his loan at Bradford City, which I'll be looking to make permanent in the summer. So looking at the league tables, how are things? Well, we've dropped out of the playoffs into 8th place, but with 2 games to go we can still grab that back. As you can see, Salford can no longer get into the playoffs, but what we care about is Bradford City. And with only 2 games remaining, it's make or break time. On to the penultimate game of the regular league season. I was going to say a must win away to Walsall, but at this stage they're all must wins. So here's the lineup. Matt Macy in goal, Jonathan Tompkinson, Liam Moore and Kieran Kelly make up the back 3. Brad Halliday and Denver Hume are the wing backs, with Jack Hinchy and Richie Smallwood in centre midfield. And up front are Bobby Poynton, Jake Young and Tyler Smith. So on the bench we've got Sam Walker, Imari Samuels, Alex Gilliard, Jamie Walker, Matthew Platt, Callum Kavanagh and Kevin McDonald. And getting you straight into the highlights of this one, Bobby Poynton had a free kick early on, and it's another free kick goal from Bobby Poynton, his 6th goal of the season, that put Bradford City into the lead in the 13th minute. But after half time, on the 55th minute, Draper scored an equaliser for Walsall, and Walsall came forward again with this dangerous move, with Knowles putting the ball on a plate for Johnson, who smashed his shot over the bar. I made substitutions, with Samuels coming on for Brad Halliday and Kavanagh came on for Tyler Smith, in a hope of being able to just push things along again and try and get an extra goal, what with Samuels' extra bit of pace. And then I changed the midfield, the creativity of McDonald for Richie Smallwood. But in the 71st minute, Walsall came close with this shot from Knowles. And now I introduced Jamie Walker for Jake Young, just to see if he can change anything. We need something just to grab that extra goal. And here's Kavanagh on the attack, who plays it to Walker. Walker turned, but didn't seem to be able to get a shot away. Players behind the ball prevented him from doing anything with that, and then Knowles broke away with it for Walsall. And I'm pretty sure that the crowd wouldn't have been too pleased with me for taking Jake Young off when my primary idea is to try and get an extra goal. And as you can see, Johnson had a chance to punish me for that, but put it straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. But Walker was having an impact, and he found Jack Hinchy, who shot, but it was saved low down by the goalkeeper. And the follow-up of the corner led to some great acrobatics here that nearly saw Kelly score a spectacular goal. But in injury time, Samuels played in Poynton, who fired wide, and the game ended. Walsall won, Bradford City won. And I'm sure there's a few Bradford City fans thinking, bottlers. Well, we will see. There's still 1 match to play, and we'll need to see what the league tables say. So some of the ratings: Matt Macy picked up man of the match, and Bobby Poynton also did well, with him scoring Bradford City's goal. So what did this mean for the league tables? 1 game to go, and it is on a knife edge. We're not going to catch 6th place on goal difference, but we can catch Stockport. That's our only hope. We have to win and hope Stockport draw. We can't even draw. We have to win, because their goal difference is far superior to ours. So let's move on to the big game. The last match of the regular season Can we make the playoffs? We're about to find out. And just a quick bit of news, Clarkador will be joining Cheltenham in the summer. And let's just have a look at how things went. Look at that, undefeated in the last 6 games, with the last 2 of those that we've played being draws. So I'm going to get a look at the lineup for this match and why I've chosen to put players in certain positions very quickly. And as you'll see with Matty Platt and Kieran Kelly, there's decent levels of determination. Now that is something that I take into consideration whenever I'm signing players as well, because in these divisions you need that to be able to get out of there, and it's not just about the skill like it is in the Premier League. That determination really does make a difference. Over the course of a season, it really does matter, and I think for crucial games like this, it's important as well. For me, mentality really matters, just as much as the skill levels matter, and I'm hoping that determination will be the difference today. I'm confident with it. We should be able to get through. We should be able to make it to the playoffs with this. Look, I'm starting Jake Young, who scored 19 goals this season, Tyler Smith, who's scored 21 this season, and Callum Kavanagh up front. I couldn't be more attacking if I tried. And just a little pointer about real life versus Football Manager and what I chose to do, which Graham Alexander might not have had the opportunity to do, was I managed to pick up an extra midfielder to cover any midfield shortages, and I also brought in 2 defenders to cover any potential problems with shortages, which is something Graham Alexander's found himself having problems with, having not brought in those players in the January transfer window for whatever reason, and that's meant he's had to reshuffle the pack when Richie Smallwood got suspended, and there's been a couple of injuries, and that's meant Stubbs going into midfield and also other players that are having to fill in with the back 3. But yeah, that's all part of what I've been taking into consideration when dealing in the transfer window. So fitting square pegs into round holes isn't really a problem that I've faced as a result of that, but it so easily could have been. Anyway, this is the lineup to face Newport County. Matt Macy in goal with Jonathan Tompkinson, Matty Platt and Kieran Kelly, the back 3. Brad Halliday at right wing back. Imari Samuels at left wing back with Jack Hinchy and Richie Smallwood in the middle of the park. Tyler Smith, Jake Young and Callum Kavanagh attacking up front with Sam Walker, Denver Hume, Alex Gilliard, Andy Cook, Kyle Bartley, Lewis Richards and Bobby Poynton on the bench. I think that's a strong side. I've got confidence in us to get ourselves into the playoffs, or at least do our bit, which is get all 3 points today. The mission is quite simple today. We have to win. A draw will not be good enough, regardless of whether Stockport County lose. We have to win and hope Stockport County either draw or lose, and we'll be in the playoffs. So a very much filled out Valley Parade, and the atmosphere is buzzing as ever for matches like this one. So it's Newport County who get us underway with Bogle. Lewis plays it to McLaughlin, plays it back to Delaney, who returns the favour. McLaughlin passes into the centre circle, but he loses out to Hinchy. Hinchy finds Kavanagh, who plays it out wide to Young. Young now trying to find a pocket of space, but he doesn't, and the attack comes to nothing. And we're going to keep an eye on the league tables while we're at it. Lewis back to Delaney. Newport County nothing to play for because they are a good few points safe of the bottom 2, even though they are far from bottom. Crossed by Barsley. Charsley safely gathered up by Matt Macy. Smith whips across in. Young couldn't get there. Townsend plucks that one out of the air. Still Bradford City 0, Newport County 0. 10 minutes gone. Kicked long by the Newport goalkeeper. And it's Newport who win possession. Nice layoff by Charsley to Evans. And Evans now, can he pick out a teammate? He finds Lewis. Lewis shoots just wide. Bradford City living dangerously and now have a corner to defend. It looks like Macy did get a hand to it. Lewis with the in-swinger. Headed over by Bogle. And so far it's not as planned for Bradford City because it's Newport County doing all the attacking. Free kick for Newport, and that just goes straight into the wall, but Baker has it in the penalty area, crosses it in, Macy claims that, and his cheers echoing around the ground as news is coming in that Stockport County are trailing Wrexham by 1-0. Kavanagh loses out to Lewis to Smith, skips past Kelly, Smith now turns, shoots, and that's 1-0 to Newport County. Not the start Bradford City were hoping for, and that has silenced the Bradford City supporters. Stunned Valley Parade, and City now trying to look to get something. Cross comes in, but that's easily headed away by Delaney, but Hinchy has a shot, and that's charged down and cleared away to safety, all the way out to Tompkinson, who puts the ball out for a throw. But Bradford City have a free kick, Tyler Smith, and that was close, and it's a corner. Tyler Smith's going to take it. Away by Delaney, but Kavanagh has it. Finds Smallwood shoots, but that hits Baker. Comes away to Kieran Kelly, who tries to find Samuels, but that's disappointing. Well, that's it at half-time. It's Bradford City 0, Newport County 1. But yeah, the result's going in our favour. We just need to turn things around. Anyway, Bradford City get the game underway. Samuels has it, plays it to Smallwood, and Smallwood immediately tries to find Tyler Smith, but that's easily dealt with by the defence who got there first. And a long kick out by Townsend. Platt gets there. It's still Newport County who are in the lead at Valley Parade. Bradford City 0, Newport County 1. 55 minutes gone now, and it's time to start looking at making some changes to try and make something happen. So Andy Cook's coming on for Callum Kavanagh. I'm going to make him the target forward. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Is it time for Andy Cook to get on the score sheet? Back from injury, being thrown into things in hope that maybe we can pull a couple of goals back, because that's what we need. That was cut out by Platt. Young now coming forward with the ball, finds Samuels. Samuels gets the ball into the area. Baker gets there first. Now Charlesley breaks. There's options ahead. Bogle doesn't get there, and Tompkinson cleans up. Hinchy finds Smith. Smith runs with it, but he loses out to Lewis. Smallwood gets the ball back, plays it to Young. Young, nice ball to Samuels. Trying to get a ball into the area, gets it towards Cook, but Cook doesn't get there. Now Smallwood has it, but Halliday loses control of the ball, but Tompkinson gets it back. Bradford City putting on the pressure here. Hinchy, back to Halliday. Halliday wants to get the cross in, but he's struggling to get past his man. Plays it back to Hinchy. Hinchy back to Tompkinson. City having to build again. Halliday just trying to find a little bit of space, and they're not finding it. Lewis blocks that one, but Tompkinson gets it back. Hinchy now has to play it to Tompkinson, who finds Platt, and that comes to nothing. We need to do something to change it. Smallwood coming off for Alex Gilliard and bringing Bobby Poynton on for Tyler Smith. See if he can make any headway down the right hand side, because so far nothing is working. And we're going to have to go more attacking now as well. Corner to Bradford City. Bobby Poynton will take it in swinging corner. Headed away though. Cook couldn't get to it, but Cook has got the ball and he tries to whip it back into the area, but that's blocked. Gilliard has it. Hinchy shoots, but that's blocked, and it goes out for a corner. Oliver has come on for Newport County to face his old side, and that's headed away. Tompkinson is going to be substituted because he's getting tired. Kelly now tries to find Gilliard, but he doesn't, and that's cleared away again, and Platt wins the header. Kelly to Samuels. Samuels loses out to Payne. Throwing to Bradford City. 84 minutes gone. Kyle Bartley has come on for Jonathan Tompkinson. Gilliard has it now. Plays it to Young. Young trying to find some space. Shoots, and that goes over the bar. And still, Bradford City trail by the 1-0. And Bradford City don't need 1 goal. They need 2 goals. Poynton tries to find Young, but that's cleared by Bogle. And time ticking on now. There's not a lot else I can do here with the tactics. Push Platt up front. It's desperate times, desperate measures. I am running out of options. I'm running out of options. It's all I can do. Leaving just 2 at the back. Sometimes you've got to think outside of the box and get players in the box. 90 minutes gone, 4 minutes of added time. Matt Macy kicks long. Samuels wins the header. Still, Bradford City don't just need the 1 goal. We need 2 goals. Young. Oh, that's disappointing. Drysdale comes away with it. Morris. McLaughlin punts the ball. Long. Hinchy to Halliday. Time ticking down on Bradford City's season here. Halliday gets across it to Cook. Oh, it's harmless, but Halliday gets it back. Gilliard. Samuels now. Can Samuels do anything with this? Just waits patiently. Finds Gilliard. Gilliard takes a shot. Oh! And was that tipped over? No, it just went wide. And still, Bradford City trail by 1-0. And that is looking like that. And a free kick. And Kelly blocks it. And it's going to be in the wrong. And that's it, the final whistle on our season, and you don't need me to tell you what this means for the league tables, but very quickly, the one standout player in this match was Jack Hinchy, who got the Bradford City man of the match, but very, very disappointing to lose our last game of the season. We might as well take a look at the league tables. Bradford City finish in 8th place, 1 point behind Stockport County. They lost, but so did we, and that is what made the difference. We just needed to get the points in this game, and unfortunately, yes, we bottled it. That's it for this season. But season 2 is going to be upon us soon, where I'll be doing a massive rebuild in the summer and putting my strategy of bringing younger players into the team and getting rid of players that we've already got in a massive summer clear out and a rebuild to make use of the budget we've got, and also try and bring in some transfer fees so I've got something to play with in the transfer market. I might have to cash in on a few of my big names like Jake Young. At this stage I haven't decided yet, but things like that are not off the table as I look to bring in better players and build for the long-term future of this football club. Don't forget to like this video, and also if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon, and that way you'll be updated as soon as season 2 begins. It won't be too long, it'll be within the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to try and aim to do these on Mondays. So all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you later.